Hi there, this is Pat McDonald, your host for Vote for Vermont, where our tagline is Listening Beyond the Soundbites. Joining me in studio today is Jim Lowe, who is the art director and theater critic for just about everything in Vermont, but particularly the Times-Argus these days.
And Rutland Herald.
And Rutland Herald, as I always sort of forget. They're sort of tied at the hip. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is
Glad
nice
to be here.
Haven't seen you in, 3 days, I think.
Yes.
We were at, I kept thinking of you during that whole, we were at the most marvelous memorial service I have ever been to.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, and
the music was incredible.
Oh, it was just amazing. If you wanted to go see that in New York or something, you'd be paying $150, $200 a ticket for the time we spent there. It was unbelievable. So we started gabbing, and I said, we haven't been together, and I think it was the radio was a while ago, right?
Yes, it was on TV.
So can you share with our listeners a little bit about yourself if they don't already know?
Well, what my actual title is arts editor. Which means I'm in charge of anything arts that comes out in either the Times-Argus or the Rutland Herald. I have writers who work for me, and of course I obviously do a lot of writing myself.
Right.
And I do a lot of reviewing, both theater and classical music, which has been my business for, well, God knows how long.
Yeah, and I have a lot of questions about that because here in Vermont, we have professional theaters. Like for me in here, it's Lost Nation Theater. And then you have the community theaters. And how, this is going off my script already, how different do you look at these things, knowing the background of the people? And you can't possibly, I don't think, you can't judge them on the same level, can you?
Well, it's more that way than you think. It's how I write it that's different.
Could you explain that?
Okay, you go to a play, whether it's professionals or amateurs or talented amateurs. There's a level I don't go to, or I won't write about them because they're not good enough. But the result is different. It's always different. But each of them, if they're good, have something special. And if it's community theater and I get touched or there's something special, I highlight that. But I'm careful to point out it's community theater, so someone doesn't go to it and say, well, then I do the professionals and my expectations are somewhat different.
Right.
But I'm still looking for the same emotional appeal.
Nice. Interesting, because especially when I have cousins that are this big, and when they're in their dance, I just yell and scream and clap and hope everybody loves it. But it is different than Lost Nation because their scenery, their direction. How does all of that fit in? The costumes, the scenery, the atmosphere that it all creates, not necessarily
ideally, it's a holistic package. You shouldn't be noticing any particular part of it too much.
Right.
Lost Nation is an interesting mix because it's a mixture often of both community and professional theater.
Yes, right.
If you want to see total professional theater, you go to, say, Northern Stage in White River.
Right.
And that is somewhat more polished than Lost Nation. But last summer, Lost Nation had a fabulous season. One good production after another. And everything in the production, the costumes, the set, everything has to feel like it fits.
Right.
And it has to complement. And anything that gets in the way of the story shouldn't be there.
Right. Well, I think sometimes their sets are just so imaginative with, it's not exactly a stage. It's
No,
the continuation of the floor that we're sitting on. And they just turn it into something else entirely. It's
well,
amazing.
that's why you work in theater, is because you have that kind of imagination.
Yeah, well, I don't know if do they have the same person doing the sets? Oh, no, they have different people.
No, they vary from show to show.
Oh, okay. Because I was on their board years ago, and so was my sister, and my mother worked for them actually, they wrote about her in one of their pamphlets, thanking her for always being there. She was a senior citizen, I guess, probably.
I probably know her.
Ursula.
Yeah.
Ursula Zeller, yeah. She loved it there. She loved them all. She used to help Maura O'Brien with her lines, because Maura and my sister are very friendly, and she'd help. Some of the lines for the 93-year-old was a little tough, but she did it because she wanted to do it for Maura. But I don't think she's ever said any of some of those words, but they had a great time together. So I wanted to take you back just a few years to October 29th, 2018. We did a show together on the radio, and I found an article that you wrote, and it was entitled "The Lowdown: How I Became a Music Critic." Could you share that with us?
Well, in a nutshell, I went to Marlborough College, which had, I would say, undoubtedly the best music department in Vermont. Well, they were the founders of Marlborough Music Festival.
Right. Yeah.
So they weren't messing around. And I wasn't all that talented. I played violin. I loved music passionately.
Right.
And at one point, they decided I had something. But it wasn't violin playing. And so they created a program for me in interpretive criticism.
Love that title.
So what I did is I studied music, I studied analysis, I did all sorts of stuff. I also worked on my violin, but I basically learned what really fascinated me was 5 different people can play the same piece, and it can be completely different, and each one can be wonderful, and they're all doing it right. And that fascinated me. Yeah. So that's sort of where it took off. And when I got out of college, it was not a good time in this country for getting out of college. It was during the Jerry Ford recession.
Right.
No
jobs were a little scarce. I was going to say a little scarce.
I finally got to New York, where I worked for a bunch of years in the classical music business.
What were you doing?
I was working for a management firm, the largest in the world, traveling around the East Coast of the U.S. and Canada, servicing concert series and starting new ones.
Nice.
Well,
that sounds fabulous.
It was cutthroat. It was fascinating. I was reasonably good at it, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I came back to Vermont, where I belong.
There you go. Well, we've talked right before the show. We talked about how many artists there are. You name any medium, stone. I mean.
Well, that comes in the story.
Oh, go right ahead.
When I got back anyway, I couldn't find anything. I started doing some work in mental health. I got a call from the Times-Argus asking me if I would go write an article about the Vermont Mozart Festival. That happened that the editor's husband worked for my father. Cool. It helps. So anyway, I did. They loved it, and I kept on doing more and more. And incidentally, this is how I became a theater critic. Because I really was a music critic. I didn't have to become one. I mean, I was. I had been, the same summer I started working for them, 1985. The same editor asked me to go review a play by a professional company in the Mad River Valley. I said, I'm not qualified. She said, you can't be any worse than the people who are doing it. And
That's a great bar.
well, she was right.
Yeah.
And the play was, now I just lost it that I was going to
Don't
say
you
it.
hate that?
Beth Henley was the playwright, and it was the first production ever by Phantom Theater.
Ah,
Anyway, so I got to know them.
yeah.
So they kept on wanting me to do this more and more because this was becoming a new thing.
Yeah.
And it was becoming more common in Vermont. Before they were special areas like Marlborough, Weston Playhouse, Dorset Theatre Festival, but there weren't, and the Mozart Festival, but there weren't lots of them. It wasn't everywhere.
Right.
But the more I wrote, the more there seemed
That's
to
great.
be.
Well, I think there's an incredible, the few people I know in theater, they just open the page, write to your articles about what you thought about whatever you were
Well,
doing.
it grew and grew, and I
Yeah.
kept on getting busier, and the paper kept on asking me to do more.
That's great.
I was put on staff in 2 years, and, I kept on and growing, and
That's
I'm
great.
still there
And loving it, I would think, because
most of the time.
yeah, because every once in a while, I'm sure you see something spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
That must make it all worthwhile.
Yeah, I do see stuff, or stuff that goes straight to the heart.
Yeah, right. That's great. What is the place up in Greensboro?
The Highland Center for the Arts.
I just discovered that. I'm ashamed to admit I've been here 30 years.
Well, that hasn't been here 30
No,
years.
I know, but I just found it maybe about 2 years ago, thanks to a friend. That is like a hidden gem, not that far away from us here.
No,
And
it's
they do wonderful things, I think.
Yeah, they do.
I enjoy, and the food, and I mean, it's
You
amazing.
know the story about how it got there.
No, I don't think I do.
Oh. A man in Greensboro wrote a check for $10 million.
Well, that'll help. Really?
He was, he grew up as, and I may get part of this wrong.
Yeah.
He grew up as, though I wrote it, so I should get it right. He grew up as an orphan he got adopted by a family in Greensboro as a kid. So he grew up there. And then he went into business, and he lived in London, making lots of money. And so he decided to give Greensboro a theater, and it's modeled after Shakespeare's Globe Theater, and they do wonderful stuff there.
I think the acoustics there, I've sat in different places around. It's always the same. It's really excellent.
It's very
I
good.
think, yeah.
And they did something really smart for their opening performance, their first performance. As you know, Greensboro is not Poverty City.
That's true.
It's a rather Tony community.
Right.
The first production there, and I was there, was A Midsummer Night's Dream, put on by Hazen Union High School
Nice.
from
We're Hazen?
Hardwick.
Hardwick, yeah. Nice.
And the place was packed. And people told the board members, if you hadn't done this, I never would have come here. Because
smart.
they thought it was going to be just for upper crust.
Right. I didn't think along those lines when I thought almost just the opposite. In Greensboro, what do we have? And I was blown away.
Well, it couldn't survive as a Greensboro institution. There's no way.
Right.
They don't have the population, especially in the winter.
Well, the people, and I was looking, the first time we went there, looking at the license plates and where people come from, and it was amazing.
But they also get an audience from Hardwick,
Yeah.
from the whole area, especially in the summer.
Oh, they have such great, people should check it out because they have great outdoor events.
Yes.
They're really nice. Well, when I discovered it, I was very grateful to the people.
Well, that's another example of what I'm talking about. I think it was in 1 year, We got three $10 million theaters in Vermont.
Whoa.
Northern Stage built
Yeah.
theirs. And Weston,
Oh, the plan.
now Weston Theater,
Yeah.
it was Weston Playhouse.
That's right.
Weston Theater Company built its second theater.
Yeah. I liked going there for a couple of years. We just got hooked on going down there.
Well,
Because I love Weston anyway.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah,
wonderful.
what a great town. So you go there, go to dinner, and hit the.
Well, I learned more about theater there because the three directors who were there for 30 years spent time with me. And I interviewed them and all this sort of stuff. And of course, then went to their shows and reviewed them. And, you know, I learned.
Now, I saw a list, and I put it on my notes about all the different types of things that you write on. And, you know, music festivals, Shakespeare, opera. I mean, you've got a whole range of things that you write on. And that takes a certain skill, doesn't it?
Well, and
to-
experience.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them are based on certain things. I mean, I can write about opera because I write about classical music.
Right.
And I do know voice. But when I first started writing, some people don't know this because it's been a long time, though Banjo Dan knows this.
Oh,
I wrote about non-classical music in my first years. And the reason I did it was one, they needed it, but it was the only way this stuff was going to get written about, as if I did it. Now, I have very little interest in non-classical music, except when my friends are doing it. When my friends do
right.
it, I'm
Then you're-
there.
Right.
And I spent a day with Banjo Dan and the Plowboys in a recording studio.
Wow.
I mean, and I wrote about all this stuff, and they knew I wasn't brilliant at it. Like classical music, I can tell you exactly what somebody's doing wrong,
Huh.
technically. I mean, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked with some of the best in the world.
Well, I love Banjo Dan. He and I, we were in the same place a couple of weeks ago, and we talked a lot, and we were doing memories of Con Hogan when he had his bluegrass
Yep,
festivals up at his house.
right.
Oh, I miss those. I'm not a fan of bluegrass necessarily, but I just love the whole atmosphere up there.
You know, bluegrass is one of my one I like better than some.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, it didn't matter. I mean, I wrote about Fish. I wrote about Viper House. I wrote about all these young things, and I wrote a lot about. Oh, I have to tell you how I used to write about the Discover Jazz Festival.
Oh, that's a biggie. Yeah.
Jazz interests me about as much as root canal. I know a little bit about it because classical jazz technique is based on classical technique. Anyway, I was the only person to write about the Jazz Festival. Either I wrote about it or there would be nothing.
Right. Oh.
On the other hand, I mean, this was early
Why
years.
was that? I mean, why did people find
Because
it?
they didn't believe in the arts enough to have multiple writers.
Huh.
They had me, and they would do things because I could con them into doing it. This is what I meant. There's been a huge
Yeah, right,
change.
right.
So I mean, I have a great writer who does that now. But what I did have was I had access to all the stars of the jazz festival.
Oh.
They would do interviews with me.
Oh.
So I had this little trick I did, and it worked beautifully for me. I'd get them on the phone and say, look, first thing, I'm a musician. I'm going to ask you questions and answer me as you would to a musician. So as I would say, well, how do you start to create what you're doing? When you have a song, how do you vary it? How do you decide to do that? I can do that. And they would tell me.
Ah.
Because I understood.
Right.
Jazz is basically theme and variations. You know, it's a melody and then they vary it. I mean, that's oversimplifying it, but that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I see. I love jazz. We used in New York City. I think it's the Half Note. Is that?
Oh, yeah.
I used to go there all the time when I lived in the city, and it's a place where people just get up and just play, and it was just. And sometimes you'd see some really serious people there. It was incredible.
I have so many friends who are jazz musicians.
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah.
Nice.
Well, because as I say, the instruments are very related. Some people play both, especially woodwind players.
Go from classical to, yeah.
Well, Michael Arnowitz.
Oh, really?
Michael
Yeah,
Arnowitz
yeah.
plays jazz.
Yeah, yeah. I just think it's great. And when you're with the smoke filled and the drinking and oh, it's just so great. I can walk out of there so not high from drinking, but just
No, I know
just
what you
high.
mean. Music like that, as a matter of fact, rock music affects people in a way that music doesn't. It doesn't affect me.
Huh.
Music affects me differently.
Oh, wow, like what?
It goes to my heart, not to my. It's not the rhythm.
It drives me crazy. I can't sit next to you, I bet, in a concert, because my feet just keep moving, and I look around for people that just sit
If
and
it's
listen, and I'm like, how do you do that?
Well, if it's appropriate music, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Oh, okay.
You know, if it's very rhythmic music.
Yeah, because I just can't sit still if it's good.
But, you know, you can't very well tap your foot to a Beethoven symphony.
Well, that's true. There's not much.
You might. I don't know.
So good luck with that. No, it drives me crazy when I see people. In my head, something's going, and my husband's not too thrilled with it, so he's usually hitting me. But, you know, you just have to feel the music
I do feel the music.
inside.
Every bit as much as you do.
Inside.
Well, I'll give you an example. Probably the most famous violinist in history was Jascha Heifetz.
Oh, yes.
Heifetz played exciting, very moving performances. And he looked like a stone. He didn't move. There was
Really?
not a sign of emotion
Oh,
on
my
it.
word.
But it was all there in the play.
Interesting.
Yeah. You don't need to emote physically to deliver it musically.
Wow. Well, he certainly delivered, so we
Oh, yeah.
can't argue that. That's really great. Oh, you know what? I do have. No, you said you were the art editor.
Arts editor.
And when you say art in the paper,
Arts.
arts
Not
in
art.
the paper, so arts in the paper. So everybody's doing an article on,
Well, for example, the late Art Edelstein worked for me for many years.
oh, really?
Yeah, he wrote about traditional music.
Nice.
Again, something I don't write about.
Oh. So you would just review his work and,
Well, I would edit his work. I mean,
yeah,
I would either assign it with him or come to an agreement in advance what he was going to write
Yeah,
about.
okay.
And he reviewed a lot of CDs, and he was very helpful. And yeah,
well, you must be incredibly busy because there's always something going on in this state, whether it's at a college or.
well, I can't
Oakland.
keep up with it, and I'm having to say no a lot now.
Yeah, because I mean, I think colleges have they've got a hidden resource there. It's just wonderful. There's some of the talent there. Anyway, so what I wrote, when we talked, whenever I see you come in a place, I watch people and they go, oh, there's Jim Lowe, there's Jim Lowe. You know, and I know that behind the scenes, behind the curtain, they're all going, Jim Lowe's here. That must be a little, do you like it, or is it a little, you can't sneak anywhere.
Because it's Vermont, I enjoy it.
Oh.
If it were negative, I wouldn't.
Oh, no, it's not negative, that's for sure.
No, people have faith in me, but that brings up a beautiful story.
Oh, please.
You know Selena Moore, who she is. Wonderful soprano in North
Yep.
Montpelier. Well, many years ago, she had a youth program, and they did Mozart's Magic Flute. And these were these little children doing it. And, you know, I went, and at intermission or afterwards, somebody came and told me the kids were all whispering to each other, Jim Lowe's here.
Oh, that's so
I
cool.
was so flattered.
Yeah, they knew. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I was
great.
flattered. No, I take my role very seriously. My role, besides telling the readers what's going on, which is probably the most important, the secondary role is to help make things better. And you'll notice if you read my reviews, I seldom slam people.
Right.
I needle.
That's good.
Because I think they can be better. And if, oh, you know, this was really wonderful, but if you did this. And if I do it that way, it often has that effect. And I've been studying what they're doing for 40 years.
Whoa.
I've been doing exactly this for
right.
40
And
years.
you obviously don't get tired of it. 'Cause I don't-
Sometimes, but,
Well, but you
but
must,
not long enough to stop.
aren't a lot of the things we've been talking about, music and things are changing in what gets produced, what gets done. So it's not the same thing all the time.
No,
you know?
it's
I
never
mean,
the same.
yeah.
And there's always, but it more like morphs than it changes radically. I mean, just the changes, we had a new music director of the Vermont Symphony
Yes,
4
right.
years ago,
Yep.
Andrew Crust.
Yep.
And we had Jamie Laredo for 20 years,
right.
who was one of the foremost musicians in the country. And we lucked out because he lived in Guilford.
Well, there you go.
And he is a product of Marlborough Music Festival. And he loves Vermont. And he loves doing it. But there's been a morph since Andrew took over. Not a change. They do some of the same things. They aim for some of the things. I mean, Jamie was of a different, I mean, he had a pedigree, don't want unimaginable pedigree, and Andrew, who I like very much, is quite young. I mean, he's not much over, I don't think he's much over 30.
Whoa, that's an accomplishment.
And but he's doing wonderful things with the symphony. He's trying things,
Yeah.
some successful, some not, you know.
You got to try, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the audience is with him, and it's growing again. So
That's great. I just remember something that you said about good, not good. I used to go to Carnegie Hall all the time. I mean, I was sort of a regular.
that place.
And speaking of good and not good, sometimes, every once in a while, you'd be there going, "What is this?" And I don't even know how it.
Well,
there was
you know
there was a
something?
concert about Hiroshima. I remember.
well, you know
Deadly.
something. Also, a lot of people don't realize. You can rent Carnegie.
Oh yes, I found that out not too long ago. After all these years, yeah. So you don't know, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
and
I think Hiroshima must have rented.
could be. I mean, you know.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be war on the stage, and no, I know. So you couldn't leave humming anything. You know?
Well, I mean, that gets into a whole other subject of contemporary classical music, which is really challenging.
Yeah.
But I write about it, and I very much believe in it. But it's not for everybody.
No.
What will happen good example. The closing work in the next year, I'm writing, it's coming out tomorrow. What day is today?
Thursday the something.
Well, it doesn't matter the
The 30th.
date. Saturday, my story about the next season of the VSO is coming out.
Ah.
And they're closing it with Igor Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, which is one of the most popular works now there. When it was performed in 1913 in Paris, the audience was screaming, and they weren't screaming good things.
Oh, they didn't like it.
No, they didn't like it. And I mean, that's how things change.
Yeah.
And I watched my father do this, because my father loved classical music, but he was very conservative. But as he listened more and more to the new stuff, some of it he could like after a while.
Was he in the business or?
No, he just a music
just liked
lover.
it. Good. That just I saw Where the Wild Things Are. There's another one. You couldn't hum that one either. That was at Carnegie Hall, and people there booed. They didn't just clap nicely. They booed.
But it's important. First thing is when I write about contemporary music, the question isn't whether I like it. The question is whether it's good or whether it's important.
Oh,
Because music is not always meant to be liked. There's a lot of jazz you don't like.
yeah, that's true.
You know, I wrote about one woman whose jazz was very atonal, but it was brilliant. And I could hear it, even though it's not what I wanted to listen to. My knowledge of music told me this is really put together well. 10 years from now, I'm going to love it.
Well, I think that we were talking about everything seems to change, maybe slowly or
It
dramatically.
morphs.
I don't know. Yeah,
It
I
morphs.
like that word. And we were talking about making the sector, inviting people in, because I saw in my research that the arts really contribute an awful lot of money to our
Oh, yeah.
economy. I have in 2022, they generated $158.6 million. That's not chump change to our economy. And
I suspect that's low.
yeah, oh, maybe, it could be.
I
That's
mean-
22, so that's the last
Well,
time they
but
did
the
it.
thing is it's covers such a wide swath.
Right,
Because you have the people who stay here, the people who, buy tickets, people who support arts organizations. It's just, it's a huge part of Vermont
Right.
culture.
yeah. It is, I think, I don't have the percentage, I thought it was down about 4 or 5% of the economy, which is reasonable size
Yeah.
for the arts. I was on the state has an arts group that picks selections to be shown on public property, on the state's property, and that was fascinating when the artists would come in, mostly statues, and the artists would come in and explain it to me, and that was so fascinating listening to what they perceived and what they created.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I didn't see that, but as they're talking, you can see it yourself. It's really cool. I know.
Yeah, visual arts is something I can't write about. I don't have the language. I have a wonderful woman, Mary Gow, who has been doing it for years for me.
Oh, that's great.
And but I love visual arts. I
That's
have
beautiful.
my whole apartment, which is big,
Yeah.
the walls are covered.
Oh, that's nice.
And
Well, and your friend Art Zorn is.
I have a bunch of Arthur's.
Not pretty shabby either.
I have a bunch of Arthur Zorn paintings on
Do
my
you?
walls.
I've been
He came
trying-
and put them up.
Did he? He's very good, I think. Anyway,
He
I
is.
like him. I like the colors.
Oh, he's very
Yeah,
good.
it's amazing.
And he came into that late. That's
Really?
maybe the last 10 years.
Huh.
And no over my mantelpiece. And I'm in a Victorian house.
Oh, nice.
And I have tall. And over my mantelpiece is a huge Arthur Zorn.
Art. Oh, that's lovely. Well, there you go. So he came. I find that fascinating. A friend of mine, Andy Snyder, is into pottery, and he started it way after he retired from state government, and now he's well known.
Yeah, people also back in that generation, even my generation, and certainly my father's generation, being in the arts was not entirely respectable. Unless you were really successful. If you were Yasha Heifetz,
Yeah,
of course,
well, can't say no.
or Arthur Rubinstein. But it's not that it wasn't. Nobody believed you could make a living doing it. So how are you going to support your family?
Right. Well, we can, and we do.
Obviously,
it's
and more
wonderful.
and more so than ever.
And because we have the Vermont Arts Council, they had, I read where they put together this creative action plan. I don't know if you've ever gotten
look at
involved
that
in it.
stuff,
And we've got a lot of people working on this, I think.
I know the plan you're talking about, but
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to the Arts Council because the first lowdown I wrote tore the Arts Council to shreds.
Oh. That's interesting. And why is that?
The statement was in there something to the effect of the artists in Vermont wonder, in fact, what it's doing there. And they did. It just was not part of their existence. And, you know, they were too busy making do things, you know. It was, there was a description, you know, everything was, I'm a very woke person, but this was woke.
Oh,
I mean, not
right.
good.
Not good woke.
No, I mean, I'm not really woke, but I'm a Vermonter.
Yes.
But it wasn't about the art. And it wasn't about the artists. It was about appearances and, you know. So anyway, I want to give them a shout out that ever since COVID, they have been doing a bang-up job.
Really? What changed? I was going to ask you about COVID and the arts, because I heard they were struggling big time
They
during
were,
COVID.
but they learned a lot of lessons. And some are fascinating.
Oh, please.
I mean, Northern Stage kept its full staff on for the whole time.
What did they do as a replacement for?
I don't know. I mean, well, first thing is they're good at getting donations. Opera North, which is technically New Hampshire, was the only opera company in the United States that put on operas one summer, this summer of COVID.
Really?
And they did it by doing it. The performance was in a tent. People sat on the lawn in pods.
Ah.
I wonder, was that
Very
all of them?
clever. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, people really got out and did it. Yes, and everybody was desperate financially, but a lot of non-arts people were desperate financially as well.
I know they were worried about insurance. There was just so much struggle for these people. I felt really bad. And then when it was over, I gave, when we go out to restaurants, I'd give the waitress twice as much as I would normally give, because I felt, well, I just felt make it up somehow.
Well, it decimated the paper.
Yeah, wow.
And I lost half my, at that point, my weekly arts section was 8 to 10 pages. Now I'm 4. I had a much bigger budget.
Now you
No, I had then.
Oh, then, oh, okay.
And it's gone.
It's back, yeah.
Now I
Back where we were?
struggle through.
Oh,
We do okay, but I struggle. But the Arts Council, for the first time that I noticed, and I've been around a long time, started servicing the artists.
doing,
Giving them the ways they could find money, helping them, having seminars on how to market themselves, you know, stuff that you really need.
yeah. That
I
makes a
was
lot of
asking
sense.
before, why aren't you doing that?
Good for you.
Because artists don't have access to that stuff. They don't
Well, they're in another world too. They don't have the, connects to all these services that are
Right.
available.
I mean, when you work for National Life, somebody
Yeah,
does
right.
it for you.
Right, exactly.
But they started doing this, and I'm just so impressed with that.
Do you know, one time Lost Nation Theater put a play on Zoom, and we paid something.
Yeah. So
I thought that was fabulous, but they said, if I get this wrong, I apologize, but they said the union that the actresses belong to wouldn't allow it. And that's, you want to broaden everybody's horizons. That would be
The
great.
answer to that is more nuanced than that, but it's complicated.
Yeah, I bet.
But they're not the only. Several other theaters did
Did they
stuff.
do?
But I think they did things that worked within the union rules.
Well, I'm sure the play that they did must have, but they said they couldn't do any more, and I thought, this is a way.
But you can do plays. Most of the actors, Lost Nation uses are not equity, which means they're not under those rules.
Oh, okay.
Now, occasionally we get one. You probably know Eric Love.
Oh, sure.
Well, Eric has always been equity when he's been here, which means they have to pay him a certain amount.
Right.
And so on, and a certain amount goes into insurance and so on. Northern Stage in White River is all equity. So is Weston, so is Dorset.
Right.
Vermont Stage is a mix. They have more equity than Lost Nation,
Yeah.
but they're not all equity.
Well, I just thought that was the greatest thing in COVID, but also just to get people educated and see the theater and broaden their horizons.
Well, it
as they-
certainly brought out a lot of imagination for
Right.
people.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
You know, figuring out what do we do?
Yeah. I sort of sit there, you have my little popcorn and my Coca-Cola and watch I think it was Maura that was on, Maura O'Brien.
Yeah, she was.
She was
I
on that,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah. I love
And
watching her.
Annie, Get Your Gun or something, I don't know. But I just
It may
thought it was-
have been the play. And there are rules about plays.
maybe, because
Certain plays have to be, you have to have a contract.
Yeah, right, oh, okay. Yeah, there was something, I can't remember what Kathleen said,
That's probably
because
it,
I
because-
asked why you can't do it.
I don't know, I think Maura's equity also.
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there are quite a few at Lost Nation Theater.
Not quite a few,
Not
a few.
A few, okay.
A few.
A few. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's been
because
equity for.
Kim and Kathleen aren't.
Oh, I just assumed they were, but,
Well, Kathleen's never been. Kim may have been. I don't know. Kim has a real professional career.
Yeah.
Kathleen's career actually isn't in theater. It's
well,
in
I think
music.
they're both wonderful together, and they have been
Yeah.
through some tough times here, and
Oh, yeah.
managed to pull themselves.
Oh, listen,
keep
I've
going,
been
man.
involved in every one of them. They are very close friends, and every time they would get into hot water, they'd say, "Come, Jim, can you write something?" I'd
Yeah,
write
right.
something, you know. But that's another story. We have to
Right.
do a whole
But
other.
on sponsorships here, but we have got, I don't laugh because I appreciate it, but there are certain companies here that will support the arts, support nonprofits, and you can count on them because they want them to survive. And it's always usually the same.
And they want their name tied in with something really good.
Well, for sure, for sure. And I know National Life with Lost Nation Theater,
They've
and I'm
always
sure
done
I
it.
could name some of the real estate firms and stuff. It's wonderful how this state comes to people's rescues when things are down.
Well, you know what's a funny story was when they were doing the first major renovation of the Opera House. Oh, no, it was the one that they put the facade on the back, the granite facade. This says Barry Opera House.
Oh yes, of course. I even worked there. Yeah, right.
And I was writing about where the money was coming from. And I interviewed the president of Rock of Ages. It was the first time ever that they had given money.
Really, I must say that surprises me just because I thought they were one of the. But
They are now.
yeah, that's
But
great.
they weren't.
Yeah.
Bob Pope is the one who
Well,
pushed
Bob
that.
is.
Yeah.
I was on the Granite Museum board with him, and I love Bob. He's
But
a
he did the
great guy.
same for the Barry Opera
Yeah,
House
right.
back in the early years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob and I talked a lot.
Yeah,
But,
he's a good
you know,
guy.
I actually wrote the story on how corporations give money. And you're right, National Life has a tradition of doing it. They've
Right.
done it a long time.
Yeah.
They gave their second largest gift ever to the Barry Opera House. The largest was Central Vermont Medical Center.
Wow.
But when I had this interview, it was great. I mean, first time they'd ever given money.
That's amazing. That's good. You
There
probably had a
wasn't
little influence in
There
there.
wasn't a tradition here. In urban areas, there's a tradition that corporations and stuff give money.
Right. Well, look, I mean, the symphony's got a strong list of supporters.
Exactly.
You know, like Cabot, and I mean, every place you go, you see Cabot there because
Right,
they're
but
always here for us.
But they want to look good.
Yeah. Well, and we thank them for that. Thank goodness.
Absolutely. We want to look good too.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, no, I think it's great, and I think Kathleen and Tim have been.
yeah.
What did I say? Kathleen and
Kim.
Kim. Sorry, Kathleen and Kim have just done so much work, and just 24/7. Those two, and they're good
Well,
at it too. Besides,
Well, they are and they aren't. If they were good at it, they wouldn't have to work 24/7.
Well, I know, but this
The
isn't
pro-
an artsy.
The
is it?
problem is they don't have people who are good at it. That's the difference.
Well said.
No, I mean, they're very close friends of mine.
Yeah.
But they are not arts administrators.
Oh, I see. What
You
you're
want to
saying.
see
Yeah, right,
something
right.
well run, you go down to go down to Weston, or you go
Yeah,
to
right.
Northern Stage,
Yep.
and I mean that's run like a machine.
Yeah.
And they have all sorts of ways to bring in money. Kim and Kathleen do well. I have to give them
Well,
credit.
no, really. Every time they're getting down to the bottom, all of a sudden,
But their
rise up.
problem is it requires so much work on their part.
right.
And Kim's older than I am,
I don't want to know. He probably is.
and he does most of the carpentry.
Oh, does he really
For a
on the
lot of it.
stage? Whoa, I didn't know that.
He can do it. He's proud he can do
Yeah,
it.
right. I just think they should get an award for that.
Well, they have
but-
gotten several, but
Yeah, for the scenery alone, how they take that goofy space and turn it into something
Oh,
marvelous.
they've done a wonderful
Yeah.
job. You know, nobody.
And
could
not
have
with
done
a
that.
lot either. It's not a lot of stage decorations. It's just the
Well,
outline of things.
I
so
don't
you use your,
believe in a lot of stage
I
decoration.
think you should use your imagination. right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, they've done a fabulous job. And I have, oh my God, I don't want to waste the time here. I have a great story of David Sheets,
Yeah,
who is an actor.
I know David
Yeah.
very well.
So he
We've
went to
been-
Unadilla, and he played Daddy Warbucks in Little Orphan Annie. And I was hosting the National Governors Association group to take a tour of the State House, and David found out about it. And he said he wanted to do it. So Sunday, he was all week doing Daddy Warbucks, Daddy Warbucks. Monday morning, we're doing the tour, but David does it as Daddy Warbucks because he couldn't get out of character.
Oh, but
And he was just oh, if I had a video, I would have made a fortune. He was amazing.
I'm sure.
He was, and they're all looking at me going, what? It's Daddy Warbucks. It's a long story. But he couldn't get out of character.
I'm sure they enjoyed it.
Oh, they had a fabulous, I kept getting notes, emails going, that was the best tour ever.
David is a very, very talented person.
Yeah,
And he found his niche when he went to work at the State House.
yeah, he's done an amazing job. I am a follower of his. Wherever he goes to talk, I'm in the audience, and he just
Well,
laughs at me.
Yeah, we were
I
both
love him.
starting and finding our place in the area about the same time here.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's got my vote. I just really think he's amazing. So when you're looking around this state with all the different things that we do and impact on the economy and blah, blah, doesn't it, I mean, it must give you a sense of a place of who we are. And I think the rest of the world should know it too. There's got to be a way for us to promote Vermont as a destination place for the arts. I think we
Well,
deserve
I've
it.
always wondered why the Arts Council, but it's actually not the Arts Council. What's the kind?
Economic development would be
Yeah,
the.
why they're not supporting that? It's
Well, because I told you, I wrote a letter.
It's always surprised me.
Yeah, they
I mean,
should.
we can get. I mean, the arts not only, but often attracts a group of people who are well off financially.
Yeah,
It also attracts people like me too. So.
and me right behind you. No,
Yeah, but-
we want to see those
But
things.
the thing is, and we have all these wonderful places for them to stay.
Yep. And yeah, that's getting better. I think the little bed and breakfasts and the hotel.
And the restaurants and
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
It's all over.
Yeah.
And, but why they don't realize that, if you come up and you go to southern Vermont, you can go to Marlborough, you can go to Yellow Barn Music Festival.
right.
You can swing over, go to Weston Playhouse, Dorset Theatre
right.
Company. And I mean, you can just
Yeah.
swing, and these are just a few. There are lots more.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm switching by. And the quality is so
It is.
good.
That's what amazes me. I love it here, and I don't understand why we don't focus, I think that would help bring people,
Yeah.
not only the people that are performing or doing things, but the people that like to watch them.
And as we used to joke, people would come and then go away.
Bye. Yeah, well, I think we should start a movement or something. I have a friend of mine who does work with wood and airings and stuff like that, and he lives over, where does he live? Near Bristol. And he and I were going to start this movement to try to get people to, because he knows a lot of people in that part of the arts, jewelry
Well, can
making.
you imagine people coming up for a craft weekend?
There you go.
But they come up for the craft weekend, stay someplace, then they can go to a concert one night
Right,
and
have
go
a
to
whole
play the
weekend.
next night.
I think we found a new business, Jim.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm not
It's-
that old.
And the hotels are all,
Yeah, we've got some nice ones too, and
and the bed, as you say, bed and breakfast.
I love them. I love them.
And lots of them aren't that expensive.
Nope, you're right. And the food is always good in them.
Mm-hmm.
We go to some just for dinner. Some of the places that we know around town, just go.
Well, obviously, I eat around the state. That's some very good
Yeah,
restaurants.
you
which
must
is
know
nice.
all of them.
Well, I'm discovering new ones, and then some sort of get lousy, and
Yeah, after a time, that sort of is always the worry that it's going to change.
but there are always good ones
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yep, I agree with you. Now, we just found a bed and breakfast that if they've got a nice restaurant, they'll allow you to come in and have dinner, and that's always lovely. I think that's cool.
Oh,
So what do you hope for in Vermont going forward in your business of the arts?
well, the big thing I hope for in summer theater is that it recovers from the floods.
Oh, right. Oh, for sure. I didn't even think about that. Shame on me.
I mean, first we had the pandemic, then we had the floods.
Right.
Weston has not been able to open the Playhouse since.
Oh, they're right. Yeah, I could see that.
Fortunately, they do have another theater, which
Yeah.
is very good, but there's something about the Playhouse that is so
Right.
special.
And right in the center there, and it's
Yes, and it's so
lovely.
beautiful,
Yep.
and it feels like you're in the old, well, it is an old theater.
Yeah, right.
But plans are to do it, but they have
It's
to
great.
raise the money.
See, now, this upsets me because we're doing all this work, spending money on, what are they calling it, the environment and saving the world.
Yeah.
And I said, why don't we take that money and save the people and their houses, and let's fix what we've got first, instead of,
Well, we can do it all at once.
I don't know about the money, but we should plan, the people part should be first. And
Yeah.
you know, their houses, the structure, I mean,
Yeah.
they're.
Well, except
places
that if you don't do some of the environment, the houses are going
That's
to go
true,
down the
that's
river.
true.
No, it's
No,
a
but a
package.
little planning,
It's
yeah.
a package.
Yeah.
And Vermont is good about that. But the thing is Vermont doesn't realize what it has in the arts.
I agree,
There
totally.
is a group of people who do, the people like us.
Yeah,
But there's a large group that don't even know it's there.
that's what I want to try to reach them.
You know, one of my standard comments and jokes with talking about the symphony and stuff like that is the problem is not the product. Once you get people there, they're
Yeah,
going
right,
to be happy.
right. Yep, I was just thinking of St. Michael's is fabulous. They've got some great stuff going on there all the time.
Well, now St. Michael's Playhouse.
Yeah, I mean,
That bit the dust a couple of years.
yeah, but they just had a recent event.
The college.
Yeah, the college, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
The colleges are always doing something,
But
so,
unfortunately, the Playhouse bit the dust. That was COVID.
yeah. I wonder how much stuff they really got is not here anymore because of COVID. That would be interesting to
My
know.
feel isn't that it's a lot.
We're a pretty hardy bunch.
St. Mike's was unusual in a way that its audience was all over 90. Well, not always, not all, but
Maybe 80.
Those were the ones who brought them.
Right, right.
It was
Yeah.
definitely an elderly audience, and
Yeah.
that's I'm
that's
not
right.
joking.
Yeah.
And that may also play into it. I mean,
Well, we are a more mature citizenry here. They're all
Well,
sort of old.
Well, the arts always attract more mature people because they have the experience.
Right.
They can afford to go.
Yes, that's a
biggie.
For sure.
But young people start getting into it. Yeah. You know what is the art form that attracts the oldest people?
What?
Theater.
Huh.
Middle is classical music. Mm-hmm. Youngest is opera.
Really? Now that surprises me.
I can take my grandkids to opera anytime, anywhere. They love it. Because there's a story. Well, ever since they started using super titles.
Oh, okay, right.
And they've been doing that for 40 years now.
Yeah.
And they love it because there's a story.
You know, I was going to say, there's always something going on. A lot of people.
And there's a story.
Yeah.
They can follow it. I mean, a symphony is totally abstract,
right?
Which is how I like it. But you know, I love opera especially. I do too. And you know, we have opera in Vermont, and it's growing.
Yeah. Yeah. I know just that Madame Butterfly. I saw that once. But there's been some good things I've seen over the years here. And then when I've gone down to New York, I miss all that.
Middlebury is doing La Traviata this spring in June. Opera Vermont is doing their own version of Rossini's Cenerentola, which is Cinderella, at the Barry Opera House.
Oh, that should be good
I think
too.
it's pretty soon.
Huh, I have to look that up.
But they throw in some uniqueness. But they're good.
Yeah, excellent. Oh, I'd love to get back into that. And I took a class in opera at at the Champlain College.
Oh, wow.
And it was fabulous. It was a couple of weeks, and we looked at opera and we studied it and critiqued it. And he was the teacher. I can't remember his name, but he was wonderful. And I went away with knowing a little more than I did when going in.
Well, opera probably creates more passion than almost any art form.
Yeah, and I think we said before the show that when it's good, you know it. You don't have to be an expert to know good opera when you hear it.
And I always jokingly pointed out, it's not highbrow, it's middlebrow.
Right, exactly. Jim, I have really enjoyed you being on the show. I hope you had a good time.
I always have a good time with you.
Very nice. Thank you all for listening and tuning in, and we'll see you next week. In the meantime, this is Pat McDonald, your host for Vote for Vermont, where our tagline is listening beyond the sound bites. See ya.